Oh, you could have been a good girl, but instead you chose a real world. Yeah, you've always been a savage. Oh, you've always been a bad chick. I don't care if you got issues.
A guy named Dong Dong is playing his favorite game, Azure Sky, and his team is on a mission to destroy 50,000 slimes. Although they can easily kill one slime with one hit, they will be exhausted before killing 50,000. Dong Dong notices a slime being attracted to Angelica flowers. He tells Kai to prepare a magic trap while he and Lao Yi gather Angelica flowers. They then lure the slimes into the magic trap to destroy them. They succeed in killing more than 5,000 slimes in one trap. The next thing they just need to do is make 10 similar traps and successfully complete the quest to kill 50,000 slimes. Each player receives an item chest after completing the quest. Two teammates are busy, so log out of the game first while Dong Dong starts opening his chest. He doesn't see any items, but only an invitation to join Azure Sky. Dong Dong thinks that his items are hiding behind this invitation, so he presses the accept button. Immediately, he is dragged into a black hole. He falls to the ground with a monster appearance. After examining his body, he discovers that he has turned into a skeleton warrior, the weakest and most forgettable monster in Azure Sky. After a while, he reassures himself to calm down. He thinks this is a reward from the 10th anniversary chest. It must have come with special perks such as gold fingers. He opens the status menu and sees all the super low stats. This left him in complete despair. People get reincarnated as a hero while he becomes a weak monster. But soon he consoled himself that someone was reincarnated as a slime, and he became a hero. He can do it too. He found his first prey on his path to greatness. He rushes to attack the slime with a kick, but there is no damage. On the contrary, he is humiliatingly killed by the slime. However, he seems to be in the game, so he has infinite regeneration ability. He continues to attack the slime and is killed over and over again. The slime killed him so many times that it reached level 2 while he was still at level 1. Therefore, it was impossible for him to kill the slime. He sits sullenly sad because he couldn't kill anyone. Suddenly, he overheard a conversation between two adventurers. They had killed 10 goblins today and were planning to form a party together. Dong Dun comes up with an idea with a sinister grin. He blocks the way of the two adventurers and makes provocations for them. The young man could not contain his anger and rushes to him. Dong Dong runs to the goblins and annoys them. According to Azure Sky, monsters will attack the players closest to them. The experience obtained from killing monsters will be shared by those who attack them. Dong Dong can now still gain experience without having to fight. He's been an Azure Sky player for more than 10 years. He knows everything about it. He successfully reaches level 2. Immediately he wants to find that slime for revenge. He goes to the slime, tortures it like a ball, and mutters that from now on he will be the ruler of Meadowy Hill. At this moment, the rookies are chatting among themselves about how they couldn't do the rookie quest in Meadowy Hill because there was a level 5 skeleton warrior there. A player named Jake the White Knight appears and says he will kill that monster so the rookies can do the quest. Although Dong Dong is only level 5, this is the highest level in Meadowy Hill, so he becomes the boss here and has several minions of his own. He feels that life after reincarnation is wonderful. However, his fun quickly ends when Jake the White Knight comes to destroy him. He opens the status menu and finds that Jake is level 25. Of course, facing Jake's overwhelming power, he has no chance of survival. He receives a slash from Jake and is reborn somewhere else along with 2 of his minions. He is extremely angry when Jake comes to fight for his territory. He is determined to take revenge on Jake. He starts attacking goblins and low-level monsters and travels to more remote areas to level up. In just a few days, he reached level 20 and he can promote his job at this level. Without hesitation, he goes to the nearest city to promote his job. He walks leisurely, to the amazement of the other players, who couldn't believe that an NPC could level up. However, as soon as he approaches the city gates, the guard recognizes him as a monster and destroys him instantly. At this moment, a new player is taking the initial steps of logging into the game and learning about Azure Sky. Azure Sky is an immersive game that synchronizes with your senses. Players and NPCs make up the world of Azure Sky. They are everywhere. You can interact with NPCs to accept quests. Alternatively, you can study at an academy to enhance your job skills. In Azure Sky, there are 5 main elements, and each element has different branches. You can mix and match different skills to form your own unique skill combo. That's all for the basic introduction. The new players will be taken to the newbies training camp at Meadowy Hill to eliminate 10 low-level monsters. A very eager new player rushes into the forest and is shocked to see that the skeleton warriors here are between levels 5 and 15. The girl with the character named Bubble thought she was going the wrong way, so she left immediately. After being killed by the guard, Dong Dong loses some experience and also loses his job promotion materials. Besides, a monster like him can't enter the city to get his job promotion. He tells his 2 subordinates to summon all the other skeleton warriors. He plans to take them to Wolf Plain to collect materials. He has prepared for one person a manual on how to kill wolves and gather materials. This is the fastest way he can gather the job promotion materials. But one thing Dong Dong doesn't foresee is that skeleton warriors are illiterate. Furthermore, in Wolf Plain, there are many players, and skeleton warriors might be hunted by them. However, Dong Dong has prepared a graphic instruction sheet on how to deal with players if they encounter them. A girl with an avatar of a cat is silently watching Dong Dong. His plan quickly proceeds. The players don't know how to destroy the wolves, and they are shocked to see 2 skeleton warriors attacking a wolf, one attacking its head, the other attacking its ass, causing it to be destroyed. The young man is angry at being robbed of his prey by skeleton warriors. He plans to fight them, but he immediately realizes that their levels are all above 15. While he is only level 3, he kneels down and wishes them a safe hunting trip. Then the skeleton warriors come to give materials to Dong Dong, including materials stolen from players. Skeleton warriors, under Dong Dong's training, have become very different from NPCs. They can kill monsters, arbitrarily attack other players, and set traps. However, Dong Dong always reminds them to live peacefully with humans. He leaves Meadowy Hill in their care while he goes to explore this world. Dong Dong's first destination is the area of the pink slimes. Rookies often come to this place to tame slimes as their pets. Bubble is also a rookie who came here to tame a slime. She opens up a guidebook that Dong Dong has written himself, making Dong Dong very interested in her. While Bubble casts the spell, Dong Dong rushes to take the slime's place. As expected, the system notices that a level 20 skeleton warrior has become Bubble's pet. However, this makes Bubble burst into tears because her pet is so ugly. Dong Dong then makes up the story that he was a prince in a faraway country and was cursed by an evil princess, so he is turned into a skeleton warrior by the evil princess. Dong Dong's story touches Bubble, and she promises to help Dong Dong break the curse. Dong Dong can now enter the city as the player's pet. They arrive at Yonai City, the largest city in Azure Sky. The realistic scenery and senses attracted Bubble to play this game. She was recommended to play Azure Sky by a friend named Zuxu, but she has been busy lately, so she cannot guide her to play this game. Dong Dong says that she could see him as a player and ask him any questions about the game. Bubble laughs and says that he was an NPC, not a player. Dong Dong says that once he gets his job promotion, she will see. However, Bubble has no gold to help him, and she promises to work hard to earn enough gold to help him get his job promotion. He immediately hands Bubble a bag of gold, which surprises her. Of course, he couldn't say that he stole them from other players. Meanwhile, the head of the assassin organization, Yu, is listening to a member report on his mission. The cat girl also informs Yu that no special NPCs were found, but she discovered a very strange monster. The upcoming event involves an NPC with very high intelligence. In other words, a monster can also be an NPC. The video of Dong Dong tricking Bubble makes Yu think he has found the true target. At this time, Dong Dong and Bubble arrive at the job promotion hall. Dong Dong walks inside the hall and hands in the materials. His body begins to change, his horns disappear, his body grows larger, and receives a letter from the system. Outside, Bubble is skeptical that Dong Dong is her hidden quest. A squirrel hears her mutterings and says that the hidden quest is only activated when it finds an intelligent NPC or an overlord tier monster. Knowing that Bubble's pet was at level 20 surprises him. He explains that a level 10 player cannot tame a level 20 pet unless the monster allows her to tame it. He adds that, in the past, there have been cases that the monsters controlled their master and enslaved the player. On the other hand, the pact between master and pet is very difficult to break, so the players can only delete their accounts because people laugh at them. After he left, Dong Dong walks out of the hall with a handsome and cool appearance. He thinks Bubble will be happy, but she bursts into tears and wants to know if Dong Dong is cheating on her or not. Instead of explaining, Dong Dong immediately takes a blood oath to show his loyalty. He promises her that he will always protect her, which makes her extremely secure and happy again. Dong Dong wonders who Squirrel was and why he appeared in Dong Dong's absence. And the strange letter he received said that if he wanted the answer to his becoming a skeleton warrior, he needed to complete the main quest. While the two are walking down the street, Bubble hears people talking about the Godhood entrance exam at Godhood Academy. Dong Dong explains that Godhood Academy is one of the 3 largest schools in Azure Sky. Top players and strong NPCs work as teachers there. If you can graduate from it, you will be a legendary figure. Each year, Godhood Academy will hold an entrance examination. There's one registration office over there. This first place will be given hints for the main quest. That is why everyone is signing up. The main quest is a yearly quest that the developers hand out. Last year, the main quest led to a war between the West and the East. It was a bloodbath. In the end, the winner obtained the highest grade artifact. With it, one can rule the Azure Sky. This year is Azure Sky's 10th anniversary, and the main quest is tougher than before. But it also comes with extravagant rewards. To put it simply, Bubble will be rich enough to eat everything she wants here. Hearing that, Bubble wants to participate in the main quest. But Dong Dong tells her to think carefully because it is very dangerous. But she doesn't care and drags Dong Dong to the registration office to enroll in Godhood Academy. Their actions are watched by the nearby Squirrel. It turns out that Squirrel is the leader of the assassin organization, Yu. Dong Dong says that there are two major guilds in the game, Xuanyuan from the east and Luminaries from the west. Their members are in front of them. They are powerful combatants in every main quest. It's still too early for Bubble to sign up for the main quest. Suddenly, Jake appears and says he will protect her, but his arrogant attitude annoys Bubble. Dong Dong intervenes and says that his master has reached the minimum level to participate in this event, so she doesn't need his protection. Jake laughs because they both don't have any strength and shows them his muscles. Dong Dong also admits that he has a lot of muscles, but only muscles and no what. Jake gets angry and challenges Dong Dong to a duel. If he wins, then Bubble must go with him. The crowd thought Dong Dong would be defeated easily, but as soon as he charges, Dong Dong freezes the ground, causing Jake to lose his balance and fall to the laughter of everyone. He is extremely angry and activates his strongest skill, the Sword of Righteousness. Taking this opportunity, Dong Dong also wants to try out the new skill he has just unlocked, Frozen Slash. Jake is quickly defeated, to everyone's surprise. Dong Dong confidently walks to the registration desk and reveals that he is level 34, which shocks everyone. Yu finds Dong Dong very interesting and keeps watching him. Then the two witnesses witnessed a robbery. Dong Dong intends not to help, but Bubble orders him to chase the robber. This robber moves very fast, and Dong Dong is forced to freeze to the ground, causing the robber to fall. The girl named Yuko, who is an NPC, comes and gives the bandit a beating. She then serves Dong Dong and Bubble a sumptuous table of food. To thank them, Yuko gives them a guidebook on how to pass the Godhood entrance exam. Dong Dong takes a look and finds it written in great detail. With this guidebook, they can pass the Godhood entrance exam. Bubble then receives an email from the system notifying her that the registration period for Godhood Academy entrance exam is over. Based on their overall evaluation, Dong Dong's group is ranked number 8. That means there are 7 people stronger than them. It'll be challenging to get first place. Dong Dong immediately takes Bubble to Meadowy Hill to train her. Here Bubble is surprised to see barracks built by skeleton warriors. She is planning to run away because skeleton warriors are too smart, but Dong Dong stops her and says that this is his territory. A slime informs skeleton warriors that there are 2 intruders. Skeleton warriors immediately rush to attack them because they don't recognize the new form of their boss. He swaps back to the skeleton warrior and calls out the names of his 2 trusted underlings, Fatty and Bony. They then report to Dong Dong that they only followed the instructions in the book that Dong Dong left to build these camps. With their current defenses and traps, they are able to against level 30 players. They also prepared a throne for Dong Dong. Dong Dong then introduces his master to everyone. He asks them to help her get to level 30 as quickly as possible and find her a cute pet. Dong Dong then focuses on training with newly unlocked skills and collecting materials to help Bubble get her job promotion. To find a way to return, he has to ace this exam. He thinks his company must be asking for him now, and his parents must be worried sick. However, his parents feel comfortable without Dong Dong's presence. His company fired him to find a better new employee. On the other hand, Bubble has leveled up enough to be able to tame a new pet. Fatty and Bony take her to Slime Hill for her to choose a pet. As soon as she casts taming magic, the slime she chose is destroyed by someone. It turns out that Jake is flaunting his powers in front of a girl. When he sees Bubble, he panics, but when he learns that Dong Dong isn't here, he mocks her for being abandoned by her pet. Seeing the master of their boss offended, Fatty immediately summons the skeleton warriors. Jake is surprised to see that the skeleton warriors are all above level 20. The girl immediately runs away, based on how to fight the players that Dong Dong taught them. They hit Jake's perineal, causing him to be defeated instantly. They then tie him up and bring him to the barracks. Bubble wonders where Dong Dong has gone the past few days and is upset by Jake's taunts, so she logs out of the game. As soon as she takes off the device, Zuxu rushes over to ask her if the game is fun. Bubble tells Zuzu everything about Dong Dong. Dong Dong hasn't responded to her texts in the past few days, which annoyed her. Zuzu asks her if she and Dong Dong are in a relationship that embarrasses her. She dodges Zuxu's question by logging back into the game. Bubble mumbles that Dong Dong is an interesting person. If only he exists in real life. Dong Dong overheard Bubble's words and came to tease her. Bubble sulks at him for not responding to her texts. Dong Dong checks, and it is as she said. He explains that he is too busy preparing the materials to help her get her job promotion. Not only that, he also brought her delicious food. Bubble immediately forgets about anger and enjoys the grilled wolf thigh. The skeleton warriors brought Jake in front of Dong Dong to consult. If Jake is released, the location of the barracks will be revealed. Dong Dong tells Fatty and Boney to temporarily detain Jake and treat him kindly. Then Bubble and Dong Dong go to Godhood Academy. Information about the player who is ranked 8, but only at level 10, is making other players curious. They don't know that Bubble's level is currently 39. This will be a surprise for both of them. According to the exam guide, to pass the preliminary round, they must be either an enchanter or a mechanic. Suddenly, Yuku comes to greet them, and she also takes this exam. Seeing Yuku's hand, Dong Dong is sure that Yuku is a talented mechanic. She is ranked 9th. He immediately invites Yuku to join his team. They quickly go to the meeting place to hear the announcement about the exam rules. The exam is comprised of the preliminary round and the second round. It will take place on this unique island. There are 3 missions in the preliminary round. Obtain 3 Phantom Martin pelts, complete 3 contraptions, and solve 3 magic puzzles. Completing 2 of the 3 missions allows you to enter the second round. Only the first 50 candidates will be accepted. The rest will be disqualified. Candidates can attack each other during the preliminary round battle, or you can team up with your homies. After being instructed in the rules, members from the Mega Guilds appeared. They are first of Xuanyuan and Luminaries. They are sworn enemies and the top 2 candidates in the ranking. They have puzzle experts in their teams. Dong Dong thinks that he might run into them when they are solving puzzles. The 2 girls tell him to quickly collect Phantom Martins instead of having to solve puzzles. Collecting Phantom Martin pelts might sound easy, but they are elusive. It'll be challenging. Everyone is heading into the forest, so they are more likely to be attacked. Hunting Phantom Martins is a time waster. Magic puzzles and contraptions require certain knowledge, so fewer people will do them first. If Dong Dong's team can do them first, they are more likely to succeed. The best option is to split up. Yuku and Bubble will deal with the contraptions, and Dong Dong will collect Phantom Martin pelts. Both can contact him via the pet system. Yu asks the cat girl to follow Dong Dong's actions. Dong Dong relies on Yuku's guidebook to the nearest swamp. There he discovers a Phantom Martin. It is fast and hard-hitting and can enter the Phantom state to become immune to all physical attacks. Only magic spells work on the Phantom Martins. The MC is surprised when the first person to kill the Phantom Martin is a level 61 pet. He then continues to the guided locations on the map and quickly collects many Phantom Martin pelts. Dong Dong's actions are watched by Cat Girl. Yu is also easily destroying the Phantom Martins and telling the Cat Girl to keep watching Dong Dong. However, the cat girl is discovered by Dong Dong, but he doesn't expose the cat girl's actions and forces her to buy the Phantom Martin pelts he hunted. He sells at an expensive price, 150 gold for 3 Phantom Martin pelts. The cat girl, of course, disapproves and attacks Dong Dong, but his level is superior to hers. Even she couldn't run away from him. There is no other way. The cat girl has to buy Dong Dong's pelts in tears. Before leaving, Dong Dong also drew random drawings on her face, causing Yu to laugh. Yu finds Dong Dong more and more interesting. He asks the girl to temporarily stop following Dong Dong but spread the news that Dong Dong is selling Phantom Martin pelts. Then Yu goes to the scrap yard. There are more than 10,000 machine parts here. Players need to make 3 machines from the parts here and get 3 Phantom Martin pelts to get to the second round. Suddenly, the balance in Bubble's account is increasing rapidly. She contacts Dong Dong and learns that he is selling Phantom Martin pelts. He has already killed most of the Phantom Martins in this area, so other players have no choice but to buy his pelts. Not only that, he also sends a video on how to do business to his underlings. Up to this point, Dong Dong's plan is still going well, but he meets a business rival. Another player is also copying Dong Dong and selling Phantom Martin pelts. The MC is very excited because a real battle is about to happen. but somehow the two quickly reconciled and considered each other as good friends. They embark on a business partnership and establish a pelt market instead of fighting each other. Dong Dong devises a plan to make it easy for the two to sell their products. First, Dog Player offers an expensive price of 200 gold coins for 3 pelts. Next, Dong Dong appears to chase Dog as a character for justice and sells 3 pelts for 100 gold. Cheaper than the previous guy's offer, but the girl still thinks this price is still very high. Dong Dong offers her a favorable price if she can bring him another customer. However, she cannot tell the next customer the price she buys from him. The cat girl who witnessed this scene is extremely angry but could not do anything else. At the leader's orders, she spreads the news that Dong Dong is selling Phantom Marten pelts, causing many players to come to Dong Dong to buy his pelts. In addition to the non-genuine players, the MC feels fortunate that there are elite players who are trying to complete the exam in the usual way. They are candidates belonging to mega guilds. With Dong Dong's way of doing things, Gu Ling and Zhang Lai you see that he is very smart and think that his master is as smart as him. They choose to solve the puzzle to pass the first round. When they arrive, they meet the members of the Luminaries. They chose the same magic puzzle. Gu Ling and Sane decide to have a duel here. The one who gets kicked out of the magic circle loses. Gu Ling rushes to attack Sane but is unable to penetrate his barrier, but he continues to attack and successfully pushes Sane out of the magic circle. Gu Ling's teammates answer the puzzle and successfully pass the first round. The system announces that the first team has passed the preliminary round. The exam is being watched by 4 level 100 lords. Dong Dong's actions caught their attention. Meanwhile, Bubble and Yuku are having a hard time because some parts can't be found. She contacts Dong Dong to ask him for help, but he is busy with business. He is even receiving a special guest, Lady Sissy, a rich person in Azure Sky. She accepts 3 times the price for Dong Dong products. She doesn't care how much gold is lost. She only cares about how Dong Dong's business has attracted her. But after a while, Dong Dong realizes something is wrong. According to Yuku's intel, there are 3 times more Phantom Martens than candidates here. That means everyone should be able to get 3 Marten pelts. The preliminary round is a test of their combat efficiency. Now that all the Phantom Martens are gone, the remaining 1/3 should be in their hands. There's only one explanation. Another player is also destroying a lot of Phantom Martens. Yu is grilling the meat of Phantom Martens. Not only that, he is secretly monopolizing a type of mechanical component in this scrap area. This makes it impossible for other players to create machines. He doesn't monopolize them to sell like Dong Dong, but destroys them. He wants to eliminate other players this way. The one who suffers the wrath of other players will definitely be Dong Dong.